Okay, students, so now that we have the basic understanding of dominant and recessive, we're going to move on to something a little bit more complicated, and we call this branch of inheritance non-Mendelian genetics because it doesn't follow the recessive and dominant that we've been used to. This video is going to cover two of them. The first one we're going to look at is incomplete dominance. Incomplete dominance is when one allele is only partial dominant. Both are going to be written as capital letters. And the way that we can kind of remember this is that blend in. So when you have incomplete dominance, then those two traits are going to blend together. So when you mix a white sheep with a black sheep, you're going to get a gray sheep. Or when you have a parent with straight hair and a parent with curly hair, you might get a child with really wavy hair. So here's a really good example with snapdragon. So here we have a snapdragon that's white. The only way to have a white snapdragon is if both alleles are WW. And then on the other side, we have a snapdragon that's red. And the only way to have a red snapdragon is if we have capital R, capital R. Okay? So when we cross these, you'll notice that all of them are going to have the genotype capital R, capital W. And what this means is that because neither red nor white are dominant, they're going to blend together so that 100% of the offspring are going to be pink. Now, what's really important to remember is that even though these are written with different letters involved, they come from the same gene. So they come from the same sequence of DNA. So they're going to code for the same thing, even though they're written in different letters. So here's an example problem. I would like for you to pause the video, and I would like for you guys to try this one on your own, and then you can start the video again once you've completed the problem. Okay, so now that you have attempted this problem on your own, we're again going to be working with flowers, but in this case they're puffkins because we're talking about SpongeBob. And those are found in red, blue, and purple. And because purple is a blend of red and blue, you can kind of assume that this is going to be an incomplete dominance. So write the correct genotype for each one. So the only way to be red is if you have two capital R's. The only way to be blue is if you have two big B's. And then when you have both a red and a blue, when you combine red and blue, when it blends together, you're going to have RB. So what would happen if SpongeBob crossed a puffkin with red flowers and a puffkin with blue flowers? And it wants us to complete the Punnett square. Okay? So red flowers is going to be big R, big R. Blue flowers is going to be big blue, big blue. So that when you cross them, 100% of them are going to have purple flowers because they're all going to have one big R and they're all going to have one big B. So 100% of them are going to be purple. 0% are going to be red and 0% are going to be blue because they blend together. The next one we're going to look at, again, this is non-Mendelian genetics. So this is one that does not follow the dominant recessive. This one is codominant, and this is where both alleles are expressed equally. Okay? This is going to be written as a capital letter and then a capital letter with a superscript. So you're going to see something written above this. And the way that we kind of remember this is like co-show. So co and show rhyme, so that's an easy way to remember. This might result in some spots like with Dalmatians, or this might result in a chicken having black and white feathers. So you're going to see both characteristics displayed equally in the phenotype. So here's an example, and this again comes from your textbook. So here we have a white chicken and we have a darker chicken, like a black or a dark brown chicken. And this is going to display codominant. So both of these traits are going to show through. Now I want you guys to look at the alleles here. So the allele for feathers is F, but the white allele, okay, is a superscript of W. So the only way to have a white chicken is if both of your alleles are capital F and W. Here's your black chicken. And again, the only way to be black is if you have both black and black alleles. So when you cross them, you know that the allele is going to be FF, but then you still take the W from this one and the B from this one. Okay? And the result are 4 chickens that have both alleles present. So they have both black and white alleles. And because we're talking about codominance, co-show, both of them are going to show through. So you can see evidence of black and you can see a phenotype of white. Now notice how I have the B written first up here and the W written first over here. Those mean exactly the same thing. So don't get too hung up on which one is present first. Okay?